Man, Houston, Ontario, Canada, get Tennessee, love it. Man, what a beautiful. I was just up there over January. So beautiful. Such a beautiful place. We were in oh my gosh, what is that place? Gatlinburg. Oh, so pretty. Trinidad, love it. That's one place I've yet to be, man. I've heard such incredible things. Tennessee again, Augusta, man, if you're a golf fan, right? Even if you're not, what a beautiful, beautiful place. So, welcome, letting everybody hop in. We're expecting 300 plus people probably on this live tonight. So, gonna have some incredible information for people. Super simple and sustainable, which is extremely important. I remember being in practice. I used to see around 1,000 people a week, and things have to be simple. They need to be sustainable and stickable. And we're going to show you just what we're doing with people. So, there's Cindy. Hello, Cindy. Kentucky in the house. Man, look at you guys. Marietta. Are you kidding? Diana, I used to speak all the time in Marietta. That's so crazy. What a small world. Hello, welcome, welcome. Neighbors, love it, love it. Hot Atlanta. Daryl, what's up, stud? Hello. Denver, what's up? I love it, man. I got some family out there in Colorado Springs. Such a beautiful place, man. We'll be kicking off here in just a minute. Michigan, man, where I used to practice. I love it. I love it. South Carolina, Quebec, Jersey. The Gold, by the way, what time is it in the Gold Coast of Australia? Holy smokes. That's crazy. Oh, it's 11. Okay. I was like, wow. Oscar, what's up, brother? Chicago. I'm so proud of you, Oscar. Keep up the great work, man. Love it. Love it. Sue, what's up? Hello. Got Chi-Town in the house. Yeah, I grew up in West Virginia. So we got about another minute and we are going to be kicking this thing off. So, Tokyo, dude, I love it. I've yet to be there. Tack, I hope I said your name right, man, but I am really itching to go there. So in St. George, another place. Mary, I may have ran into you one time. I've heard that's just a beautiful place. So let's get rocking. And if you don't know me, my name's Dr. Kenny Harless, and I feel super blessed to be presenting this to you and so many wonderful testimonies we have here. And what I want to do is just start off a little with my own story. I want to share with you what my journey has looked like in this, right? So I had an experience with this protocol that we're going to share with you that has been absolutely transformational for me. And this was me right here. This was 2.5 years ago. I'm the person in the lower right, and I was aged. I was exhausted, cortisol through the roof, couldn't even swing a golf club for 9 holes. Everything hurt. I developed fatty liver, sleep apnea, high blood pressure. God bless my wife. And this was me a month and a half after this photo. I ended up in the hospital. This was actually my best day. This was the day I was getting out after I had ruptured my appendix. And about 4 days later, I went back in. I had actually had an abscess that got missed. And I went back in and nearly spent 2 months of my life. And when I got out, this was me here. I couldn't even stand. I couldn't honestly wipe my rear end. I couldn't, I hadn't had a shower in 3 months. And the picture on the left was me in that medical managed model. And thank God for that. It got me out of that. But I was stuck. I was scared. And I didn't know what to do. None of the things that had worked for me were any longer working. And the picture of me on the right was 35 days and what we're going to lay out for you. Now, this was me, and I now look and feel younger. My fatty liver's gone. My blood pressure's back to normal. My energy's incredible. And I have never felt better in my life. I feel like 30 years younger than what I was there. Now, with this, I'm going to introduce you to some people as we go through this. And you're going to hear some testimonies, but you're going to hear a lot of different things. And I'm going to hopefully weave this together in a way that you understand why all these things are being impacted as they are. So, first off, I would love to, and thank you, Mark Overton, for hopping on here. But Trent, if you could, please just go ahead and let's highlight Mark for us, would you please? And Mark, brother, I know you. I'm an early riser, man. I'm usually up at 4:30. I know you're a truck driver, brother, and I work with many of you, and God bless you. And you guys get up even earlier. So thank you for being on here. And I'd love to. What was your life like before you started this, and what's it been like since?
Uh, well, I didn't have no energy. To do anything. I literally had to force myself to get up and go. And I'm type 2 diabetic. My sugar back in September was a little over 400. I wound up in the hospital on account of it. And I just didn't have no energy at all. I've tried the Ozempic shots and everything. They wouldn't nothing work to get the weight off. My heaviest, I was 398 pounds. I'm currently at 304 pounds. And I've ever since going on the Unimonte diet, I've got all kind of energy. I can get out there and work all day long, 12, 14 hours wide open, and still have energy. And it's totally changed me. I
Yeah, I
can't
mean,
wait to see it in a few more months.
Mark, I want to something that you said to Anne Marie, right? That really resonated with me is you said you had lost weight before, but your blood work hadn't changed, right? And we see
Yes,
this a lot. And I want to hopefully I'll give you a metaphor that'll make sense, okay? But you drive a truck for a living, and
yes, sir.
if the back of the frame is bent, right, and we take the weight out, it's going to function better. But the key to the function is insulin. And I think that's what you're starting to see now. And when you start to correct insulin resistance, which most people have never heard of, we're going to go through that as we get to this. But when you correct that, numbers start to change. Energy starts to change, right? How's your joint pain been? Have you noticed difference in like mental
Oh yeah,
clarity, things of that nature? I mean, being a truck driver, you have to be focused,
yes.
right? How's that been? I mean, like when you finish the job, I mean, do you have energy left over? I mean,
Oh yeah.
weekends?
Yeah,
Awesome.
I feel a lot better. It used to be I just come in, I'd just go straight to bed. Now I can actually get up and do some stuff. Like last Saturday, I worked 65 to 70 hours a week, and then I'd come home and I'd lay down and go to sleep and literally sleep all day long Saturday. Saturday, I worked a while at work, and then I come home and I still up doing everything outside working and everything. So I've got all kind of energy now. I feel 100% better already.
Mark, let me ask you a question. Have you noticed like a change in your clothing, like how clothes fit? Have you
Yeah.
noticed that?
I'm fixing to have to start cutting more holes in my belt just to keep my clothes on.
I honestly, Mark, I always tell people to focus on that. Like when they start this, like put a pair of pants on at the end of every week, try them on and see how they fit because we get so stuck on a scale, right? I had a farmer who lost 14 inches off his waistline in 2 months, but he gained 2 pounds on the scale. And people are like, "What?" I'm like, "We get so stuck in a scale. It's like I'm not. It's not about a scale. You know what I mean?" So,
Well,
have you been more flexible, more like
oh, yeah.
muscle strength? I mean, have you noticed those things too? Because I mean, I've noticed that. Have you noticed that?
Yes, sir. There's a lot of climbing and bending and stuff in my job at work. And before, it was hard to do. Now I'm out there bouncing around doing every bit of it and not even thinking about it.
Man, and you're just getting started. I mean, how long have you been on this journey so far, Mark?
About a week.
Wait a minute. How long, Mark, have you been struggling with this?
All my life and 2009 when I moved back to Dalton, Georgia, from down there at North Augusta, South Carolina, I was 398 pounds. So I've been struggling with this my whole life.
Man. Mark, has it been simple? I mean, that's something I find like when I was in practice, I saw a lot of people and I realized if something's simple and sustainable, people can stick with it. I mean, has it been easy for you? I mean,
Yeah,
is it
yeah.
awesome?
I carry a cooler with some cold water in it and a couple of packs. I like the fierce and then the one with the lemon and ginger.
Oh,
I
yes,
carry
sir.
them with me, and then I mix one here at the house, and then I mix one I'm out on the road. And I've started taking the balance with me, and I'll go ahead and get something to eat, and I'll do the balance out there about an hour before I get done at work. That way, when I ain't coming home, going straight to bed after eating. So, and I
Oh,
don't get hungry now. I used to stay hungry all the time. I haven't been hungry one time.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Mark, brother, anything else you'd like to add? I mean, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate. I know you had to get up early. I really appreciate you being on here to share your story, brother. There's so many truck drivers that we work with that just they can't move, they can't. You're stuck, and you're eating food that you really don't want to eat, but you really can't get around. I mean, have you really changed anything with your diet as you've been doing this? I mean,
Yeah,
are you
I
the same
was.
thing?
I was stopping and trying to get something to eat out there on the road, and it's nearly impossible to get anything that's healthy on the road. It's fast food and stuff all the time. And I, I'm pretty much. I've got certain places that I'll stop and I can get something like there's a saucy bones over in Chatsworth, Georgia. They smoke everything, and I'll stop there and grab something. But it's a lot healthier.
Crazy. And are you saving money doing this too? I mean,
Oh yes,
isn't that crazy?
one simple little meal is like $15 or more
Yeah,
out
it's
there for a truck driver, and that's usually $15 to $20.
Well, hey, thank you. The infrastructure of this country runs upon you and farmers, and we appreciate it, brother. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing it, and God bless you. And I can't wait to have you back, man, and hear the rest of that story, brother.
Uh,
God bless you, stud. And next, I wanted to introduce Brittany and Ray. And man, what a journey this has been. And hello, and crazy enough, I know Ray kind of started this party, right? Another truck driver,
Yes.
and then Brittany. I mean, I'll let you take over, but I know you didn't really want to get involved in this, right? This was craziness and stuff. So, I really love your guys' story. Thank you for spending time here to share this.
Of course. But you're right. No, I definitely was not uh, willing to listen to the hubby whatsoever. I thought he was insane. I thought all of y'all were insane. I thought fasting was dumb. I was like, there is no way that you can live your life without eating. I thought it was ridiculous and kind of gave him a really hard time for a while. And finally, well, just a little of my story. I was on a GLP-1, kind of like the previous gentleman, and I did lose the weight, but nothing changed, and I actually got sicker. That shot completely destroyed me metabolically. Um, and I think my final straw was we had 3 ER trips back to back in 1 week. And then when I came home, like I had left and went to the hospital. I thought I was dying. And I had like even texted Ray and my mom both. And I was like, I think I'm going to die. So I just don't want to die at home and have y'all find me. Um, but when I got home from that, I was just like, okay, you know what? I don't even care. Like just whatever at this point. And, I'm eating my words, but it's okay. I'm totally okay with it. I am grateful. Um, and it's kind of like you said, like I haven't seen the weight loss part, but I have seen everything else. My blood work, I just got back today. I know you saw it. I sent it to you, but my blood work is so much better. My iron blood work that I got just maybe a few days before, it was amazing. And yeah, I just my mood, my medicine, my medication dosages have went down twice in just I think it's been less than it's been less than the 90 days. I want to say it's been like 60 or 70 days now. But like my SSRI, my depression and anxiety medication, I'm basically at a dosage like that is just weaning me off at this point. I started out at 40 and I got all the way down to 10. My thyroid medication was at 90 and now I'm down to 60 and they're thinking about doing it going down again. What else? Oh,
You
the
told me about asthma. This was one really,
yes.
right? You know what I mean? Would you share that?
Yeah, of course. Okay, so the asthma story that I was so excited about was I, as you know, when I was younger, I got kicked out of PE. I failed PE because I could not run laps. I was actually in a boxing class as well. Couldn't finish that because they couldn't run laps and it was a requirement. And it's just something I always struggled with. always, always, always. I've never been able to do any type of cardio whatsoever. And I was on, um, I had been on this for maybe 30 days at that time. And I went and did a spin class or a cycle class, whatever you want to call it. I think it's called different things in different places, but basically it's nonstop cardio. And it was a 45-minute class. I did not take any medication ahead of time. I didn't take any afterwards. I didn't die. I went to my car and just realized that I was able to do it and I wasn't sick, and I like bawled my eyes out. And I immediately sent Dr. Kenny a message, and I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. Like, how did I do this? And I still haven't. I think we've been on 2 or 3 meetings since then, and I still haven't had to take any emergency medicine, no daily medication for my asthma, like nothing. It's wild. Absolutely wild. I still can't believe it.
Wow. I mean, that's 30 plus years ish, right? You've
Yeah.
been doing
I'm
that.
I was 2 when I was diagnosed with asthma, so I'm 36 now, so 34 years.
Wow. You know, Brittany, I'm looking at your paperwork, right? And your triglycerides initially were 60 in
Yeah.
April of 2026,
Mhm.
and they're currently 39. And your HDL went from 40 to 75. That's
No,
crazy.
it's a
I'm so
wild.
proud of you, man. Oh my, how's it been with your kids? How's the energy with you and your kids, and how's Ray just sent me something about his blood work and his blood pressure and his CDL and being a truck driver. I mean, are you gonna let him
You
speak,
know,
or I mean,
yeah, I'm gonna
ah,
let speak for yourself, but yes, the energy with the kids is so much better. I'm able to actually get up and play with my kids again. And as a matter of fact, after this, before it gets dark, I think I am gonna take them outside and we're gonna do some like running around because I'm able to. And that's what I was saying last time. Like, I do it now because I'm able to. Before, I wasn't. I couldn't get up and go do all the things. But now that I'm able, I'm like, oh, yeah, let's go. Let's go do it. We can dance to Danny Go on the TV or go outside and run it lap, and I'm totally fine.
so proud of you, sweetheart. So happy for you too. You know, there's nothing better than when you have the energy to go have fun with your kids, right? You know, I mean, that's the whole
No.
point of having them. So, man, I'm so happy for you.
Thank you. All right, y'all. I'm gonna let Ray tell you all about his stuff.
Ray, what's up?
What's up, man? How y'all doing tonight?
Every time I see you, you look different, man.
Yeah, I keep the facial hair in and out, so it depends on it depends on the season.
Wow.
So yeah, um, I guess the latest news that I got with the whole with the blood work thing, it's in normal range. I still got a lot of work to do. I haven't lost the weight like she has, but at the same time, I got normalized blood pressure for the first time, and it feels like 2 decades. And a DOT physical and a regular doctor's visit physical, blood pressure was completely normal. And I told my doctor, she's like, "Are you taking your meds?" I said, "No, I haven't taken the meds in about 3 months. I took myself off of managed care." And she's like, "Well, what are you doing differently?" I said, "Well, and the science behind the protocol just kind of escaped my mind. I couldn't tell her exactly anything about what it was, but I said, I take a lot of salt, more or less." And she's like, "Okay, well, we'll keep." I'm like, I want to wait another night because she went into because I still got the weight, and she said, "Well, we talked a little bit about Zepbound before. Are you still considering it?" I said, "Absolutely not. Never in my life will I take that stuff." And she said, "Okay, well, that's fine. Uh, well." I said, "I want to check back in 90 days and see where this program I'm on is going to take me." She said, That's fair. So in 90 days, hopefully a little bit of improvement. All my blood work ranges are in normal, but like I said, the resistance number is a little high for me. So 90 days, hopefully, we'll see.
How's your energy? I know you said your blood pressure was what, 120 over, was it over 80? Something like that?
120 over 70 is what the blood pressure was. No medicines, no, just what you've been teaching us. I've been following
What,
that.
what was it before that, Ray?
It would be. Well, I got a light case of white coat syndrome. So anytime I go get a DOT physical, it would be 160 over 100 or 105 or something. Oh, just go ahead and lay down, and we'll check your blood pressure in a minute. And so I lay down, it get under 100. Okay, you're good. This last physical was the first one I've had since I became a truck driver that I haven't had to lay down. I haven't had to, it was good right away. And then I was even more surprised on this last physical that first go around, boom, 120, 124 over, what was it, 70?
70, yeah.
And I'm just like, so it's been good. Like I said, the journey's just beginning for me. I'm truck driver, don't get to move around a whole lot, but I take the time to do a little exercise here and there. But the blood pressure was the big win for me this time around. And I'm excited to see where it goes.
Man, you guys keep up the great work, brother. Thank you. I'm sure you got to be up early. I'm sure I'll see you in the morning.
Oh yeah, I'll
So,
be there.
yeah, you be careful, brother. God bless you
Yes, sir.
guys.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
Yes, sir, man. Keep it up. Night, Brittany. Give the kids our best. And then John is the next one, Tong Song. And I get a lot of questions a lot of times about dialysis. And what we're going to show you is if you knew people that could lower, if there was a way to lower your blood pressure naturally, right? To lower triglycerides naturally, to burn body fat naturally, to increase your own GLP-1 naturally, to lower inflammation naturally. I mean, most people I find, right, would want to know that. And so John here, this gentleman is on what dialysis, and you've been doing this for I want to say not is it maybe 2 weeks today?
18 days.
18 days. I'm sorry. Wow. And so I remember the first conversation that you and I had. It was really crazy. I mean, you had just started this. You were like, man, this thing is a 90-day money back guarantee. What do I have to lose? Right. So I don't want to take any of your thunder, John, but you've been a type 2 diabetic, I think you said 28 years,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
Yeah.
And please, man, I mean, what was your life like before this and what's it been like since you started this?
Well, like you said, I've been a diabetic for 28 years. Uh, Last year, I was put on dialysis. I was down and urinating just one time a day. And I was really scared what my future was going to hold for me. I had no idea what was going to happen to me. I had been through almost dying from COVID, almost died. They told me I had double lung cancer at one time, gave me chemo treatment, almost died from the chemo. So my body's been through a lot, but yet for over 20 years, I've been searching for something different. I didn't want to be stuck on these meds all my life. I was on 20 meds at one time, plus 2 insulins. And one day I come across you speaking, and I really liked what I heard because it all made 100% sense to me. What you were talking about, I really wanted for me. It's what I've been looking for. And I figured, why not? Let me try this. There's nothing to lose. And plus it was a money back guarantee. First day it came, I took the product, and that night I urinated 6 times in the same night. I remember I called you the next day, dude, is this coincidence or what? And but yet 12 days ago, I think it was, I injected my last insulin, which was 180 units a day. And today I forgot about this. I was at my oncologist because it had cancer scare a couple years ago. She was telling me, you look great. She goes, look at you. You're sitting here, no oxygen, no, not the. She goes, you look terrific. She goes, I remember when I first met you, you could barely sit in the wheelchair. You could, barely breathe with the oxygen, barely talk. And she goes, you look like you have a lot of energy. I said, I do, doctor. I feel amazing. And I was looking over the paperwork after I left, and I forgot, I was on about 270 units of insulin at one time. And I totally forgot about that. That's how hard I've been trying to get off, but I just couldn't, not on my own, not on anything they got out there. But with this program, I've been able to get off that insulin. I've been able to exercise again. I feel like I'm in my 30s. I'm 58 years old.
I remember you telling me too, you're dancing, right? Like your kids, I think you
Oh,
like, yeah, you were like, I dance now.
yeah, every morning, hour and a half in the morning, I dance about an hour and a half in the night. And I sent you a couple of videos.
Oh, I
Uh,
didn't see those yet.
and later on your TikTok message. But yeah, from a few years ago, I was dancing at a family party, overweight, with my oxygen, compared to now, dancing, no oxygen, and just feeling great. Today, I was at the doctor's, walking around downtown, no oxygen on. And with it being hot out, even my wife said, wow, that's amazing.
And your blood pressure, I think wouldn't it perfect?
Oh, yes, yes. My blood pressure just about before 2 weeks before I started protocol was about 200 over 90, I believe it was. And now it's gone down to like 120 over 80. And then I lost 25 pounds in the 18 days, and all this while I'm on dialysis.
What do the docs say with that? I mean, like, do they ask you questions? Like, what do you do? I mean,
My tech, she's like, okay, she goes, you were just starting to put on all this weight again, and now you're below your dry weight that we want you at. So what is going on? So I told her about this program, and she's like, really? She goes, I just went to the doctor, and they told me I'm pre-diabetic. And so then I got her a little interested because she's been watching my numbers the last few days I've been going.
that's the one thing I've noticed with this. You don't even have to say things to people. It's so obvious, you know. And man, John, how's this been? Has it been simple? I mean, like,
No brainer. I'm drinking a couple of drinks and some fiber. Do a little, which fasting is so easy now. I I could not go without a meal before. I would get angry. You wouldn't want to be around me when I didn't eat. And now my longest fast has been 40 hours. And it's just so easy. Anybody can do it.
yep. I see that all the time with people, and they're sometimes scared. I'm like, hey, I get it. Just can you sip this tea? So it's crazy. John, thank you so much, brother. I am so proud. I can't wait to have you back, man. Just unbelievable. Praise God, man. Thank you,
Thank,
brother.
thank you.
And then I had Cindy and her husband, and then I'm gonna explain, like, people, if you're on here and you're new, if you've not used this protocol, and you're new to this, do me a favor and just put a one in the chat, right? And if you're using the protocol, put a two. That went how detailed to go into this, right? But Cindy, if you would please.
I think we're on, aren't we?
Yeah, I got to spotlight her, I think. Where's she at? There she is. Cindy, hello.
Hey,
You guys are going on vacation or something, I think I was told. I'm jealous.
Trying.
Well, thank
we're,
you for
we're
your
going,
time. We won't keep you.
we're going to Michigan too.
Awesome. That's where I used to practice. Awesome. Robert, I think, right? Is that correct?
Yeah, you can call me Bob.
Bob, yes, sir. Well, thank you for your time, brother. And what was your life like before you started this? I haven't had the chance to meet you yet, but what's it been like since you started this, sir?
Since I started this, my blood sugars have gone down and my blood pressure has gone down, and I have energy like I don't believe, and clarity too. And there's
Bob,
a
what were your sugars before? What was your blood pressure? Just so everybody kind of knows where you started and where you're at, if you don't mind.
well, my blood pressure is always like 138 over 85 or 90 or something, and I've been on blood pressure medicine probably 20 years, and been on diabetes medicine probably about 24 years. But I just recently stopped taking my metformin
Wow.
back in April, and I monitor my blood sugar levels. And after I stopped taking the metformin it really didn't make any difference to my blood sugar levels.
It kind of stabilized in the daytime.
Yeah, it has stabilized.
Incredible. And so it's been easier, energy's better. I know, I think your wife's newer to this, right? Did you turn
Yeah,
Cindy to this?
it took me a while to get her on board.
Stubborn.
Because I've been through all kinds of supplements and regimens, and she just thinks it's another thing, gimmick or something. And she's seen me, and she started thinking, well, maybe I better, because I'm down what 3 or 4 pant sizes.
Yeah.
I went
That's
to
awesome.
go on vacation, and there's nothing in the store that fits me.
That is the one side effect is usually I have to get, I went from like a 36 with stretchy pants to 30s. So I love it. Well, Bob, is there anything you would like to add to this? I mean,
Um, well, actually, what happened was last September I had my blood test done, and I was intermittent fasting since like January, and my numbers were up. My A1C was 7.1, and my LDL was 147, and it's like I was discouraged because I was intermittent fasting, and I was, with my glucose monitor, I can find whatever spikes my blood sugar, so I would pretty much eliminate most everything that would spike my blood sugar, and I go to the doctor, and he, okay, you need to be on a statin, and I was fighting getting on a statin, and so it's like I got to do something. I was watching TikTok, and I watched you and a few other people on there, and it's like it's amazing. I just love the managed care and after the protocol examples, because it is nothing short of miraculous. It's amazing. And so I went back in February of this year, and my A1C was 5.9, my LDL was 112, which is excellent, I thought. Well, I had the old statin talk again. And the doctor wanted to get me on a statin, and I fought him on it. He gave me the ADA and the American Heart Association, their whole little blurbs about it, trying to, tell me to take it. And I told him I wasn't going to take it. And he wasn't real happy, but I guess he done his job.
But we're very thankful, Dr. Kenny, that he saw you, because it has changed our lives.
Yeah.
It's grateful to hear, and so happy for you, Bob and Cindy. You guys, Cindy, was there anything you wanted to add? Because I'm going to go in and share. Yes, ma'am.
Now she has so much energy, I can't keep up with her anymore.
And that's never been.
We could hardly get up and down the driveway before, and she's going like 5.5 miles in the morning walking and stuff. So.
And we walk backwards up the hills just to make it tougher on ourselves.
Oh my God, I freaking love it. I love it. So happy for you guys. I can't wait to hear more. And thank you guys. Safe travels. And I'm going to go over and kind of share what this thing is. Some people in here haven't seen this. And thank you guys so much for sharing. Now, if you're new to this, right? This right here, 93% of Americans have what I'm getting ready to share with you. Now, I'll be honest, I have yet to see somebody without this thing known as insulin resistance. You go into a gym, you can see somebody shredded and ripped up, and they have joint pain, all these things. And I'm going to show you what I mean by this. So here's some things that you can look for, right? Number one sign of insulin resistance is belly fat. And I had plenty of that. I was stuck in insulation mode, storage mode. I'm going to explain what I mean by this. But I started to develop skin tags. I mean, just ask yourself, how many people you look at know that have bellies that they can't get rid of? They're exhausted. Skin tags start to build up. That's too much insulin in the skin. Their joints hurt. They've got medical conditions that end in the letters ITIS. That means inflammation, endocarditis, pericarditis, plantar fasciitis, colitis, gingivitis, right? High cholesterol, like triglycerides going up, your HDL going down, VLDL and lipoprotein B going up, sleep apnea. I was driving my poor wife crazy with that. High blood sugar, I would get the spikes like John said, right? You wouldn't want to be around me if I missed a meal. And I was constantly thinking about food. These are all just some warning signs. And you start to urinate more frequently. You're waking up at night and peeing. And they tell you these things are just normal, and that's not normal. Now, let me ask you all a question. How many of you have been told to eat every 2 hours to keep your metabolism elevated? If you've been told to do this, and I used to do and tell people to do this, right? Put a two in the chat for me. I want to show you something. This is how much sugar should be in our bloodstream at all times. And when we eat or drink something, this goes up. And when this goes up, our body makes insulin. Insulin tells our rest of our body to store energy and to grow tissue. It's a signal. It says, wow, there's fuel available. Let's grow, let's store. Now, when this is elevated, other hormones reduce. Hormones like your immune system that fights infection, that fights cancer and diseases. And also your reproductive hormones reduce, like testosterone, estrogen. And this happens, and I'm going to give you an example. If you don't drink alcohol, but you did one time, you wouldn't need a lot of it, would you, to get the same effect? If you drank a tiny bit every day, over time, wouldn't you need more alcohol to get the same effect? What if you drank just a little bit of alcohol every 2 hours? Wouldn't you need more alcohol to get the same effect? If you eat every 2 hours elevating this, your body has to make more and more insulin to do the same job. And when this happens, the cells eventually stop listening to insulin. And when your cells stop listening to insulin, it starts to shove sugar into open spaces. People start to get things like migraines and headaches. They start to also shove, it shoves the sugar into your liver, and your triglycerides go up. Your VLDL goes up, your lipoprotein B goes up, and your HDL goes down. Who's got blood work like that you know, right? Oh my, as a chiropractor, guys, I used to see almost 1,000 visits a week at one point. Neuropathy, sciatica, joint pain, that's all I saw. That's all caused by insulin resistance. Also, your blood pressure starts to go up. When you start to get this, the female parts start to get imploded with the sugar and insulin, and polycystic ovarian syndrome happens, erectile dysfunction in men. And after 15 years of elevated insulin, medical research shows, you finally blow out your sump pump. So think about this real quick. If you have a basement and the floor is dry, isn't that what you want? And this is what doctors measure every year when you go in for your physical. They measure your blood sugar. That's like having a nice basement floor with no water in it. That's what we want, right? But they're not measuring the sump pump in your basement, keeping the water low. And your sump pump is your pancreas. And that pancreas works 15 to 20 years. And all these warning signs here show up until you finally blow out the pancreas and you've developed type 2 diabetes. When you get type 2 diabetes, cardiovascular disease increases 80%. Dementia and Alzheimer's goes up 81%. If you know 10 or more people with that, look out your window and you'll see it. So, how do we correct this? What is this protocol, right? Let me show you. This is so simple, it blew my mind. And what I'm going to share with you are two products that are patented, that can't be copied, that are doing exactly what we tell you. This right here is the medical Bible, if you will. It's known as the PDR. Used to be called the prescriber's physician's desk reference, excuse me. They now call it the prescriber's digital reference. And this is where doctors recommend drugs, blood pressure meds, cholesterol meds, you name it, GLP-1s, all the drugs are there. Now, these two products that I'm going to share with you that these people are talking about are also in there. Now, this right here, we have over 24 studies on this currently. Places like BYU, UNLV, Stanford, the Cleveland Clinic, the #1 heart institute on the planet. Also, Columbia, just to name a few. These are HSA and FSA certified. These are actually nutraceuticals, and you can use health savings accounts to actually purchase these. We're now in 65 countries globally. They're patented and they work so well, we actually guarantee it. Now, here's what comes in this. And do you remember me asking some people if they're saving money? You might be thinking, how can you spend money and save money? Let me show you. This is $5.30 a day. And if this, by the way, how many on here are in healthcare If you are, just put that in the chat for me, would you please? And here's what you get when your order comes if you decide to do this. You get 2 of these teas and you get 1 of these balanced fiber matrices. And here's what happens with this bottle. Now, this is the typical American standard way of living up here. We want to keep you in the yellow area. Okay. And when you're in the yellow area, your body's safe, you're not storing fat, and you're not damaging tissue. But when you elevate above this, this is blood sugar spikes and insulin. Insulin is your insulating hormone. And what this does is this starts to damage tissue. So when you wake up in the morning, you've not eaten all night, and everyone understands that when does your body heal? And the reason our body heals when you're not eating and digesting food, your insulin levels drop. And when insulin is low, the fat's got to go. And your body burns fat. And because you're not robbing Peter to pay Paul, your immune system and reproductive hormones start to kick back on. And so this system, when you wake up, you're going to sip this tea right here. You're going to put it in the bottle, and it acts like a natural metformin and GLP-1. And it makes fasting really simple. Now, my wife had hypoglycemia. She watched me transform, and she's like, I can't fast. I said, can you just sip this first? She didn't eat till 1 p.m. the first day. We honestly, we were both shocked. Now, when you get here, and you eat, we're going to push that first meal, that break your fast meal around lunch. And when you eat, you've broke fast, so you've turned your fat burning off. And now we want to control it. We don't want to be snacking. I'm the kind of guy, I used to make, the raw almonds, you'd soak them, and I would eat like 4 or 5 almonds instead of the bowl, to reduce the calories. Maybe you do lattes, and instead of getting 4 pumps of the sugar, you get 2 to lower your calories. What people don't understand, it's not the calories. See, calories don't get in the cell without insulin. And so we want to lower insulin. So we're going to stop snacking, and that's where we make the second tea to do so. And it kills the food noise, stabilizes the blood sugar. There's theobromine in it that bronchodilates your blood vessels. It calms you. It lowers blood pressure. And the saponins suppress LPS. So it's great for inflammatory conditions and people dealing with autoimmune. Now, when you get to dinner, if that's your biggest meal, you're going to use this fiber matrix. Now, this fiber, you can also see they're all third-party tested for herbicides, pesticides, mold, mildew, bacteria, and carcinogens. And this right here, this has been studied and proven to lower triglycerides, to lower your VLDL, your lipoprotein B, to increase your good HDL and lower your blood sugar by 43%. If you're a diabetic and you lowered blood sugar by 43%, would you have to inject more or less insulin? Right? You could put the answer in the chat. Now, look at this. Pharmacists, look at all these why would all of these healthcare professionals, why would they put their reputation on the line for something like this that's natural? It's also guaranteed to work. It's comical. I can put a CGM on a diabetic patient, show them the system, have them do it. Their blood work is like they've never seen. You can see it instantly. The products are not for debate. So that is the system. And what I want to do, I want to show you, I said something earlier that many of you probably caught, but it needs to be simple, right? But let's show you some sustainability, right? So I want to share with you right now some long-term effects of this. And as we do this, I want to introduce Keith. And I want to share something with all of you when we tell you that we are saving people's lives. I want everybody to brace real quick because I'm going to show something of this gentleman I've got to meet through this journey. And I want to show you, when we tell you that we are literally saving lives, this is Keith, and I'm going to show you guys a photo of a diabetic foot ulcer. And most people have no idea what this looks like. And Keith, you've been doing this system now, I want to say for what, about an entire year, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, 13 months.
13 months. And you were pronounced dead for a few minutes, if memory serves, last year, I believe, right?
Yes.
And that was the day that your your daughter found out that her dad had passed and she was pregnant with her son. Now, this is Keith's foot ulcer. Keith had cellulitis, Guillain-Barré. That was Keith. That was $180,000 in a hyperbaric chamber, and that was 3.5 months. Now, by the way, I don't have just one of these. I mean, I gain these by the day. Here's another foot ulcer patient. This is another person. And so when you have this occur, typically what happens? Well, people typically lose a limb and they're dead within 5 years. Those are the stats. So, Keith, thank you for coming on, man. I am so proud of you. But 13 months, and what was your life like before? And what's your life like now, brother?
It was a train wreck. I was type 2 diabetic for 25 years. And in all that time, everything I did what the doctors told me. And everything I did, nothing made me feel better. I was frustrated. I was tired. And I just got worse and worse and worse. And it came to a head, like Dr. Kenny said, in 2018 when I got diagnosed with Guillain-Barré, which left me with ulcers that wouldn't heal, shins that wouldn't heal. And in 2024, I developed that foot ulcer. And within 6 weeks, my daughter came over, found me unresponsive, went to the hospital, and 2 days later, like Dr. Kenny said, my daughter was finding out I was getting a grandson, and she got the phone call that I wasn't going to make it. And when I came out of the hospital, I knew I had to do something. And I stumbled across this protocol, started watching, didn't believe it, thought there's no way something this simple could be this profound. And once I saw my grandson, I ordered. And I literally started it on my birthday. And within the first day, I couldn't have dreamed up these results. Day one, my energy was through the roof. Day number two, I was off 108 units of insulin, 6 injections a day. Within the first month, my neuropathy was going away. By the time I hit month two, my doctor was able to take me off 14 of my 15 medications I was taking a day. I was down 60 pounds. My joint pain was gone. My skin tags were starting to fall off. And by the time I hit 3 months, I had proven that something I was told would never happen. I completely reversed my type 2 diabetes. Went from a 7.5 to a 5.4. It's now a 5. And I was down 75 pounds. And I was able to walk for the first time and sleep in a bed that I had in months and months and months. And I've been on it now 13 months. Just spent almost all of last month with my grandson for his first birthday. And to be honest with you, I didn't think I was going to be here for it. You know, I was minutes away from for my daughter losing her dad and my grandson losing his grandpa. And I'm able to get up and walk around. I'm down over 100 pounds. I've lost 15 inches on my waist. Went from a 4X shirt to a large. I mean, my eyesight's improved. I'm no longer wearing glasses. At 90 days, I was able to get off that last medication. My doctor hadn't seen my eyes look that good in 4 years. My foot was completely healed. My foot doctor was amazed. I mean, it's just been incredible. It really has been incredible. And I know where I would be if it wasn't for the ones that came before me that said yes. And I know. So I'm thankful every day that I get to live my life and get to watch my grandson and daughter grow up and become what I almost missed out on.
Brother, so proud of you. And it just starting, man. But Keith, you said something too. I know you've lost quite a bit of weight. Do you have loose hanging skin?
No, none at all,
Did
which
you have surgery
surprised
for
me.
that? Yeah. Did you
No,
have surgery for that? Have
no.
you had skin tags fall
Yeah, every one of them. And I'd have them, and I had them removed twice before, and they just came back.
See, if you don't fix the root, you keep getting the fruit, right? Somebody asked too. Keith, thank you so much. And I was going to bring Alan Burton on, brother. Keep up the great work, man. Your testimony, Keith, has saved so many lives, brother. So proud of you. And somebody asked, what if I don't want to? Fasting has nothing to do with losing weight. That's a misconception. What fasting does, medical research shows, you actually increase human growth hormone and testosterone when you fast. So, well, if you don't need to lose body fat, you won't. If you need to build muscle, which I've built muscle, Keith, I know you've built muscle, you'll build muscle. It has nothing to do at all with weight loss. So, just so you know, and you don't have to fast. I mean, there's people that don't. These still work. It just ramps that up if you do so. So I hope that helps to that question. And then Alan, so excited. I met this gentleman recently. And Alan, if you come on camera, if you could. There he is, I think. You good, Alan? Or you want me to go to the next person while you get your camera ready, brother? Alan? I don't know if he can get on or not. Well, do this. Let's have Vicky share why he's trying to get on if you could, Trent, because I don't know. Vicky Hamilton.
Dr. Kenny, I see a Vicky Abraham, Vicky Chadwell, and Vicky Lowen, but I don't see
Chadwell. Sorry. Yes, sir.
Chadwell. There we
Yeah,
go.
my bad, brother. Would you do that to me? She's actually my cousin. How funny is that? Hello, what's up? It's funny. I didn't really know Vicky before I got involved in this, right? I mean, Vicky, you might have changed my diaper or something when I was a little guy, right? You know what I mean? So funny story, right? But
Absolutely.
Oh, but you were really tight with my mom, and my mom had a tremendous transformation. And when you
Yes.
saw my mom, I mean, it's really like when you see people transform, you can't help but ask, right? I mean, it's a different conversation. So, I mean, Vicky, what's your story been like? And I'll pull your photo up and show if you don't mind as you're
Sure.
speaking. But
So I am actually a type 1 diabetic, so I'm a little different than the other people that have spoken this evening. I've been type 1 for 36 years, um, and found this protocol during at the start of my 35th year of being diabetic. And I also suffered from Hashimoto's. And to have been diabetic for that long, and those were really my only issues, was truly a blessing because most people know that's rare. But what happened was in that 35th year, my doctor said that my blood pressure was going up and that my cholesterol was too high, my LDL was too high, and so when Lana reached out to me about this, I was like, I was very skeptical, because as a type 1 diabetic, our only hope is to not have a foot like Keith's or to not lose a limb or to not lose our eyesight. We don't really think about getting better by any means. It's only going to get worse, is pretty much the way life is. I grew up with my mom who was type 1 diabetic, and I saw her progress and get worse and worse and worse throughout her entire life. So I kind of knew what was coming my way, or so I thought. Um, and so when Lana reached out to me and said, talk to Kenny and see what's going on with this. And so I did, and I wasn't convinced. Bless your heart, you were nice to me, but I probably wasn't so nice to you. And so I would, because as he has taught me over this last year and a half, is, I was pretty much trained as most of us are, by the medical system and convinced that they knew what they were talking about and nobody else does. And you're never going to figure it out because only they know. It's their secret club. Um, but they're wrong. So when you hear this stuff, really listen and do your own research. Don't take anybody's word for granted. Do your own research because it's definitely worth it. So 4 years ago, my doctor told me that I was insulin resistant. And I thought when I heard those words, I was scared because I thought, well, I need insulin to live. And if it's not working for me, does this mean I'm going to die? And she said, no, that's not what it means at all. It just means we're going to have to give you more insulin over time. You're becoming tolerant to it. We're just going to have to give you more insulin. And it didn't really make sense to me because I'm thinking if it doesn't work, what's more going to do? But I just went with it because she was the doctor. She knew what she was talking about. Um, she also told me that she wanted to put me on blood pressure medicine and cholesterol medication. And I've never been somebody that likes to take medicine, whether it's an aspirin or whether it's an antibiotic. It doesn't matter. I don't like medicine. I only took insulin to stay alive. And so I said, well, I'm gonna have to think about that. I'm not really thrilled about. So when I talked to Kenny, he's like, or Dr. Kenny, excuse me, he says, I think we can work around this. And I'm like, okay. So I didn't, I called her back and I said, I'm not going to do it right now. Let's see where we are with with my next visit. So the what I didn't realize was how bad I really felt until I started feeling good. And the changes that come along come so quickly, but you just kind of take things for granted. It's just the craziest thing. So I was tired all the time. I developed really, really, really bad insomnia. I was caretaker of both my parents. My husband had been extremely sick and on life support. I had a new grandchild. I was working full time and just trying to take care of everybody. And my cortisol levels were through the roof. And I didn't even realize I was stressed. Like my doctor's like, you need an antidepressant, you've got too much stress on you. And I'm like, it's just life. I didn't even realize I was stressed. I didn't take the antidepressant either. I had severe hair loss, and I pulled this picture up real quick because I wanted to show this. I had severe hair loss. I'm hoping that this will show on me. Can you guys see that?
Cindy
So
or Vicky, if you want to send it to me, I'll pull it up for you. If you can send it to my phone, and I will.
okay, I'll try. Um, and so I had severe hair loss, and I'll send it in just a second because I can't talk and do that.
No worries.
I had plantar fasciitis. I had, as I mentioned, Hashimoto's, but I also had nodules on my thyroid. My A1C would go back and forth. The lowest that it ever was 7.1. And that when I started the protocol, that was the last blood test in December before I started the protocol in February of 25. I was very overweight. And I'd had diabetic coma twice. I'd been in a diabetic coma twice. I was in a very bad car accident involving 5 cars, and it wasn't life wasn't good. And but I just kind of took it all as this is just what it is. And um so I can't get that. So I took it all as that's what it is and didn't really think too much about it because I just thought this is what life is going to be, right? So today I sat down and I made a timeline of all the things that I could think of because I know there's more than what's on this list. But I made a list of a timeline of things that have happened. So I've been on the protocol for 18 months. The first week, I reduced my daily insulin by 62%. So I went from 55 units down to 22 units. In 3.5 weeks, I lost 20 pounds, which who would think you're carrying 20 pounds of inflammation around? But I was. And Dr. Kenny has a video of me. And when I see you show that video, I'm embarrassed because my face is still so inflamed compared to now. I feel like I look a lot different than even that video after I lost 20 pounds. And in a month, I was able to decrease my daily insulin by 79%. So I went from 55 units down to 20 units, and now I take between 12 and 18 units per day. So that's 72 to 79% less insulin per day. At 4 months, I had lost 40 pounds. My LDL and my cholesterol had stabilized. My blood pressure was lowered, but it was still running a little high. There's more on that later. My A1C went from 7.9 down to, or I'm sorry, 7.1 down to 5.9. My Hashimoto's numbers were 0.5 away from normal, so I was able to come off of that medication and haven't been back on it since. My stress levels were way down, and I felt so much better just in general about life. My plantar fasciitis was gone, my insomnia was gone. Doesn't mean that I sleep great every single night, but I'm not laying there awake and tossing and turning until 4 or 5 every morning. And for the first time since I started wearing glasses about 7 or 8 years ago, for the first time, I did not have to get a prescription change in my glasses. So that was all in 4 months, all that. 9 months is when my hair growth started. And my hair was like super strong because before, if I just ran my hands through it, I literally had a handful of hair, or I could just go like that and have a handful of hair. It was crazy. I was very scared I was going to lose it all. I didn't know what was wrong. Nothing showed up in my blood work. I went to the dermatologist. They wanted to put me on a blood pressure medicine. Apparently, there's some blood pressure medicine you can take for hair loss. I don't know. That sounded weird to me. My skin on my elbows is smooth. It's no longer rough. I can remember I used to sit and like pull. It was almost like, I don't even know what it was like, but I had these things that stuck out from the broken skin on my elbows. And I would pull them and it would pull the skin down to the quick. My heels were cracked. That was gone. So that was at 9 months. At 12 months, by then I had lost another 10 pounds. So I was now at 50 pounds weight loss, which is the picture that Kenny showed. My A1C now was down to 5.7, which is a pre-diabetic measurement, which is unheard of for a type 1. That was July of last year. I'm due to get my blood work done again, so I can't wait to see what it is now because I know it's lower. My blood pressure was completely normal all day long. So a little bit on that. I used to wake up in the morning and my blood pressure would be high. And when I say high, it wasn't like crazy high, but it was like 142 to 159 over 90, 95, which is high. And I admit that. But during the day, it would come down. Well, talk to Kenny, talk to Dr. Bobby, figured out I was dehydrated. And that was the whole reason that my blood pressure had been running high. So it's summer, it's hot, humidity's high. Be sure you're getting your fluids in. I actually added the signal to my daily protocol. I have one signal every day, and that keeps, I know that way that I'm fully hydrated. I was using salt before that in my tea or taking pinches of salt, and that just wasn't enough for me. For whatever reason, I was still dehydrated, and the signal has taken care of it all. Plus, it's good for your heart. Get some signal. Okay, so that was 12 months, 16 months. Every year, I have to have a sonogram of my thyroid to check the nodules. And the largest nodule had reduced in size by 25%. Now, I've had these nodules on my thyroid for 15, 16 years. Never had they reduced. They had only ever grown. So now the largest nodule is 25% smaller. And then 17 months. Well, actually, I'm behind there. That was 17 months. Now 18 months today. Today, something else happened. Today, I was able to lower my insulin or increase my insulin sensitivity number on my insulin pump, which is going to mean that I am taking even less insulin. I was able to increase that insulin sensitivity from 70 to 100, which is 43%. So I can't wait to see what happens in the next 3 months.
Wow. Um, man, that's so crazy. And I remember the conversation I had like yesterday. Yeah, and I'm so glad, that you gave this a shot. And
I'm so
your
glad you
story
didn't
is
give up on me. I'm so
your,
glad you didn't give up on me.
me too. So proud of you. And yeah, these are the stories that we get every day from all around the world. This is real. And, as the Bible says, hope deferred creates a sickly heart, but hope restored is a tree of life. And if this sounds like what you've been looking for, if you're ready for a change, whoever shared this with you, they care about you, get with them. They have a preferred pricing code and use that code. And when you sign up for this, my recommendation is to subscribe. And when you subscribe, you save an extra $25 a month. There's a 90-day money back guarantee. It's $5.30 a day. It's less than a cup of coffee. You're worth it. Be consistent, use this properly, and it will not let you down. If you have any questions, reach out to the person that brought you to this. We're behind time. Thank you guys so much for this time tonight. God bless you and everyone. I hope you have a blessed evening.